Hello and a warm welcome to Conny Decorates, and of course, with heart. Then who's here with heart?
With heart, it's Micha, cameraman.
Exactly. In the sunshine, we've spruced up our white containers a bit here. Our white container from outside, which you probably still remember. And we've simply added our little boat to it. And we've done it with natural materials and white plants. And yes, take a look at what containers you have at home. And if you want to know how to spruce them up, stay tuned, because we're going to show you now. And these are the things we're going to plant today. So let's just take a look down here. I actually wanted to have a yellow planting here, but then I found these plants. I really love white carnations. If they're protected, they keep coming back year after year. At least here with us, they always come back. So I picked up some in white. Then I have Moroccan daisies here, 2 pots, white verbena, and I especially like the sedum. We also have that in the bon zinc container at the back. The shade of green also goes really well with these plants. And for the, let's say, lush green verbena, I also have a Nürnbergia here. I'd like to plant that as well. Now, I'll show you the base. Many of you know this as well. We once made a boat with a sail here, and last year we made an insect watering station with shells and this sign that says love. Even after rain, wind and storms, it's still holding up really well, and we'd like to leave it in here just like this. And since there isn't much space here, I have a lot of ivy here, as you can see, which has really grown well. And I'd also like to keep that in here. I have this little boat which we've decorated and planted many times, inside or used for the windowsill. And I'd like to place it right here. That way we'll have a kind of white and green highlight right in the middle of the garden. I think it looks really nice by the garden pond. And I thought we'd just try it out and see how it looks and works together as a duo. So I think we'll just get started. Since I don't have any expanded clay for drainage, I'm just going to take some wood chips from our garden and put them down here in the planter first, because it doesn't have any holes. Otherwise we'd really get waterlogging here, and of course we don't want that. So just a simple layer. Wood chips placed down here at the bottom. And in the upper pot, the big pot, I'm just going to remove the leaves from here again. There's still quite a bit of foliage in there. I'll clean it up a bit and check how the vines are doing. Oh, I definitely didn't mean to take that one out. I'll put that one back in. Just checking how the vines have grown here. So we have a bit of space now for some beautiful blooming summer plants. I'm clearing this away a bit, and the soil down here is still really fantastic. I even found a seashell in here. That fits in perfectly, of course. You could really finish it off with a nice maritime touch for the summer. So now I'll take my plants and just see how and where I'm going to plant each one. And I think I'd really like to put the Moroccan daisy at the top, because it naturally grows taller and the proportions will work out nicely in the end. And I'd like to put one on the side. There's still plenty of space there, and I think I'll place one more in the middle. I think the verbena also adds a really nice summery touch, and also a bit of an elegant feel. So now I'll see, for example, I still have this big stone here that I can plant it next to, and then it will look really fresh and summery. And now I'm going to take another look down here. Yes. How can I evaluate this so that it looks the way I intended it to? I can also sew on all the seams. It can go down here like this. This will be super useless. And on all the seams here, the seam tape as well, I'd like to include that here too. I would just, well, place it in between like that. And I also have a tag. I have an email. I have now put it in at the top, but I'd also like to include it here so we can add a little bit of a blooming accent here. And Micha, how do you like it?
Yes, very nice. It's really very, very fresh.
A real beautiful summer, exactly when we're sitting here by the pond or out here in the garden. We'll have a really lovely view of both beds from here when I look over from the seating area. That's going to be really nice, although I could still take a bit more off here. And since I'll be working on this area again, I have to keep processing it or always work it in with the chisel, which is actually quite easy now. I think we've done a pretty good job so far. And now you can still make a few adjustments. Keep asking yourself, I think if that happens, it'll be just fine. But if it's in other areas back here, those who got the same saw under their armpits, put some moss underneath. And I think that's optimal. Now I'll carefully take my plants all out of the pot, the plants all out of their pots. So now we'll bring in the fresh new soil, and that will now go in everywhere, nice and fresh.
What to do? Could somebody come and take me away? I've been in the tea without you, and I got it in my head night and day. But we are one step closer. We're all in this together. Put your hand in mine. Yeah, we are one step closer. Can you feel it, baby? It's the end of the line.
Now we've got everything nicely loosened up, and now I'll come in here at the bottom with my soil. I'm taking a bit more, especially for the sedum, because it really needs plenty keels. Now I'm adding the soil, but of course you can also use other materials like coconut chips, sand, or even sea glass. That also looks really nice here. I'm loosening the roots a little bit. They're all thoroughly soaked. As you can see, I have them all over my hands. That's always super important, of course. Either dip them in water or place them in water beforehand. I always have a tub where I can put the peppers and let them soak in water. And then that's just perfect for the plants. What I just found, I actually found some glass shards. That is, of course, correct. Great. I think it's actually quite nice if I just put them in between like this, even without moss. Besides, it's actually quite good because it loosens everything up a bit and makes for a really good mix. We'll just put that in everywhere in between now, even in the front area. If we're here in the back area, you can also just add it to the peace lily right away.
It looks like we made it. Let's get it on. We got it going, moving on. It looks like we made it. Let's get it on. We got it going, staying strong. It looks like we.
All the plants are in, the soil is filled up. It's great that we still had the blato. And what I have now, I'm going to look for 2 more bags. I have a velos here, that's everything we've collected here. Here I also have a net from the eggs. And here I also have some bark that's been softened a bit. You can easily do this yourself too, just add a bit of white paint. And then you always get a great vintage or shabby look. I think I'll clean the pot a bit in a moment. And because there's a lot of soil on it, you can now sit down again. But what's also really great is this. I always have strong winds here too. The dead branches from the birch. The bark is also a bit white. That means the thin vine isn't green anymore. And I find it very, very beautiful on that. It's just going to get wet again. And into the back area as well, which means we also have a situation here. Yes, of course, it's a lot.
It looks like we
and we're done. Roofy added a few plants, spruced up the fleece a bit again, and that actually makes a really nice background because films are also shot out there on the lawn. And then we have this here as a bit of a backdrop. Of course, that's another win-win situation for us and for all of us. And of course, we really hope that today, with this white and green planting, with truly natural things, we were able to inspire you a little with the mix of plants. Or maybe with the heights, simply how you can spruce up your containers a bit again. We'd appreciate a thumbs up, and we're looking forward to it again. Of course, to decorate the days with and for you. And don't forget, with Conny 20, you get 20% off your order in the Roofwell Cast online shop. Just enter Conny 20 in the field. You'll see it when you're in the order form, right down here. In the video description, you'll find the link to our website, and from there you can get to Hofer Ockers. So, dear ones, we're looking forward to decorating with and for you again. Stay healthy and feel a big, warm hug from us. It's yours, Conny 20, and
Yours, Micha, your cameraman.
exactly. And all the wings here. Bye. Bye.